Hi everyone, welcome back to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and this is my June book haul. So the first two books I got from Wachovia. The first one is a queer Australian YA called Clancy the Undertow, and the author is Christopher Curry. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. A couple of my friends have read it and they have just universally loved it, so I'm pretty excited. And it's kind of funny because the town that it's set in is called Barwon, and I think it's a fictional town, but that's the name of my electorate, so it's kind of like she lives where I live. And then the next book I got in that same order is Things I Don't Know by Meredith Badger, which is part of the Girl vs. the World series. I picked this up because I came across it on Booktopia in the sale section. It was only like $3. And I read the synopsis and I was like, that sounds like the most lesbian novel that I've ever heard of. And so I bought it to give it a shot and see if I was right, and I kind of was. I have already read this one, so I will talk about it more in my wrap-up, but yeah, I loved it a lot and I gave it 5 stars. The next book I got is The Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson, which is the sequel to The Name of the Star, which I own but I haven't read. This was a gift from my friend Jess. The next two books I got purely because I just kept hearing really amazing things about them and it got me really excited. The first one is The Abyss Surrounds Us by Emily Skrinsky, which is about lesbians and pirates and sea monsters, and frankly, I don't need to know anything else. That sounds amazing. And then the next book is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. I think is how you say that. This is a fantasy novel that has an asexual character in it, and 2 of my asexual friends have read it, and they really loved it, and apparently the ace rep in it is fantastic, so I'm really excited to get to this one. The next one is another queer YA novel. It's You Know Me Well by Nina LaCour and David Levithan. This was the June pick for the YA Chronicles subscription box. Again, I've heard nothing but good things about this book, so I'm really excited for it. And then the next one is The Passage by Justin Cronin, which was another gift from a friend. The third one recently came out and it sounds pretty interesting, so I'm going to give it a shot. The next 5 books I picked up from the discarded rack at my library for 20 cents each, which was actually really good because early last year my local bookshop closed down and all of the books that they didn't sell were donated to the library, and generally with donated books, instead of putting them on the shelf, my library puts them out to be sold, and they only sell them for like 20 cents even though they could sell them for like $1 and that would be fine. But it's really good. I got a couple of books that I've been regretting not buying at the closing down sale, and then I've ended up with them anyway, so can't complain. And the first one is one of those, and it is The Water Song by Suzanne Wayne, which is part of the Once Upon a Time series, which is a bunch of fairy tale retellings, and this one is a retelling of The Frog Prince. The next one I got is a Penguin epic. It's called Siegfried's Murder, and I don't know much about it, but I read the back and there's dragons in it, so that's good enough for me. The next one I got is The Lives of Christopher Chant by Diana Wynne Jones, which is a chrestomancy book. It's not the first one, I don't think, but on the Goodreads page for Diana Wynne Jones there is a recommended reading order, and this is the first one on that list, so that's good. I've read Howl's Moving Castle and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I would grab this for 20 cents and give it a shot. So, yeah. And then the next book I got is Tangle Wreck by Jeanette Winterson, which is just a really beautiful cover. It's got a lot of gold foil on it, and it's just really shiny, but also really like clean, and I just love it. And I don't really know quite what it's about, but I've heard nothing but good things about Jeanette Winterson, and I own like 5 of her books now, and I haven't read any of them, so I should probably get on that. And the next book I got at the library, and the last one, is Rune Marks by Joanne Harris, which my best friend Joe read and gave 4 stars, I think. Apparently you're supposed to read this one and the sequel Rune Light before you read the Gospel of Loki, because it's set in like the same world. And I own the Gospel of Loki, but I haven't read it, so I thought I should pick up these 2 and give them a shot. So yeah, if I like this one, I will grab the Rune Light as well. And yeah. The next book is Unteachable by Elliot Wake, published under the name Leah Rader, which is the first new adult novel that he wrote. I have Black Iris and Cam Girl, and I didn't buy this one because it's not a queer one, it's a heterosexual romance. But the characters from all of his books appear in the other books, so you are supposed to read them in publishing order so you can fully appreciate that. So I'm excited to get to this one and then get to the other two. This is about a teacher-student romance, so it's going to be interesting. And the next book I got is absolutely not my fault. Oscar Isaac made me do it, okay? Okay, just putting that out there. I had nothing to do with this. It was all Oscar's fault. It's Area X by Jeff Vandermeer, which is bind up of all three books in the Southern Reach trilogy, which is Annihilation, Authority, and Acceptance. They are making a movie of Annihilation, and Oscar Isaac is in it, and so obviously I have to read this now, because I just love Oscar Isaac, not gonna lie. It's pretty funny. The book jumped back up into the Amazon charts after it was announced that Oscar Isaac was going to be in the film. And the author got on Twitter and was like, I don't know how long an Oscar Isaac surge lasts, but I'm enjoying it while it does, or something to that effect. So yeah, I've heard some pretty good things about this book. When I posted a photo on Instagram, a couple of people were like, oh my god, I love that series. So yeah, hopefully I can get to it really soon, because I really love science fiction, and I own a lot of it, but I haven't actually read most of it, so I need to rectify that. So yeah. So the next book that I'm going to show you is also not my fault. It is completely the fault of Ivan from Sona Azra. I will link his channel down below. He has done nothing but rave about this series for weeks. So I decided that I needed to have it as well. And it is Sunstone by Stepan Sage. I think is how you pronounce that. I just went on his Twitter and had a look, and that's how it says. So hopefully. This is volume 1. This is a story about two women who meet online through a shared interest and then decide to meet in person to practice that interest together. And it just so happens that their shared interest is BDSM, which makes it sound hardcore, but it's really, really not. For how sweet it is, their shared interest could be like knitting or interior decorating. Yeah, I love it a lot. I think I gave this volume 4 stars, and I can't wait to read on, because this series is just really, really great so far. The next book I got is a rare pre-order, and it is Raven the Pirate Princess Book 2, Free Women by Jeremy Whitley, which is the second in the Princeless spin-off series about Raven. Yeah, so I've already read this, so I will talk about it some more in my wrap-up, but yeah, I just really, really love this series, and I would definitely recommend it. Okay, and then the last two books are just ones that I bought for myself, and you're not going to be surprised at all. The first one is really, really heavy is what it is. It is Ultimate Star Wars, which is like an encyclopedia type thing about all of the characters and creatures and locations and technology and vehicles from the first 6 films. And yeah, I'm down for that. I am a very recent member of the Star Wars fandom. Talked about this before. So I'm missing a lot of base knowledge about places and things, stuff like that. So hopefully this will help out with some of those gaps. And then the next book that I got, I've already read, so I'll talk about it some more in one of my wrap-ups as well. And it is The Force Awakens Incredible Cross-Sections. And so this one is just all of the ships. It kind of like slices them in half a little bit and tells you about the insides. This is Poe's X-Wing. And yeah, it's just really, really cool. I gave it 5 stars, I think. So yeah, so those are all of the books that I got in June. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.